INEC conducts mock accreditation ahead of 2023 elections. Governor Zulum goes hard on banks, threatened to revoke their land allocation over new Naira note scarcity. FCT Minister orders arrest of Federal Housing Authority officials, developer over Gwarimpa building collapse. And on the international scene, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy meets Tigray leaders for first time since peace deal. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Now the news in detail. Ahead of next month's elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission rolled out mock accreditation exercises across the Federation on Saturday. The mock accreditation was organized to check the lapses in its bimodal voter accreditation system and make necessary adjustments. In Kano, officials and stakeholders described the exercise as satisfactory. INEC National Commissioner Northwest Zone Abdullahi Zuru, who led the team that monitored the exercise in Kano State, expressed confidence in the entire accreditation process.
Assessment director gave is the same assessment. We are there together. We saw everything together. The questions were asked together, and the feedback we received were the same feedback. So what he said is the assessment. So far, we are happy with what we have seen as far as the working of the beavers is concerned. Is perfect so far. That's what we have seen, and we're happy with what we have seen.
My assessment, I'm very optimistic. I'm very happy. Things have been going on very well. You know very well we are testing the beavers. So far, so good. But we are not leaving any other elements unchecked. So until we go around and get the report from all the 12 places where we are testing and we get the aggregate report. But so far so good. The procedure is being followed. The beavers is efficient. We are very encouraged and we hope on election day, by the time we look at those gaps and address them, we will be good to go.
Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has directed banks to dispense new Naira notes via the ATM machines and banking halls or risk losing their lands to the state government. Zulum gave the warning after visiting bank branches in Maiduguri, the state capital, to assess challenges faced by Nigerians in accessing new Naira notes. Before the declaration, Zulum said he was unhappy to see hundreds of people queuing at an ATM point where only 1 out of 10 machines was dispensing cash. The governor urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to ensure the availability of new notes at commercial banks to enable people to access their money. President Buhari has promised that government will take a decision on a cash swap policy in the next 7 days. He conceded to some governors on the platform of the APC who met with him on Friday at State House Abuja that they were closer to the people and were genuinely informed about the hardships stared by the policy. The president also said he had followed television reports about cash shortages and hardships in local businesses and ordinary people and gave the assurances that the next 7 days would be used to crack down on whatever stood in the way of successfully implementing the policy. Kehinde Amodu reports.
The governors had had enough and had instituted this meeting. Sources inside the presidential villa suggest the agenda of the meeting was the hardship Nigerians were currently facing, especially the difficulty caused by the redesign of the Naira notes and the cash withdrawal policy.
Shugaban kasa wannan bayani kuma ya ce zai samu cikin wannan satin da ya rage dan yau sauran kwana bakwai.
We outlined everything to the president about the problems arising from the shortfall in new Naira notes and the queues and hardships experienced by the people, and he said he would find a way out within 7 days left before the expiration of the currency swap. The president promised that he would get an explanation from the Apex Bank and other banks before taking any decision. We also expressed our concerns to the president that the chaos and repercussion this currency swap could cause might even affect the 2023 general elections, and he said he would definitely look into the matter. Some context to the currency redesign policy was given by the president, who explained that when he considered giving the approval to the policy, he demanded an undertaking from the CBN that no new notes would be printed in a foreign country, and they in turn gave him assurances that there was enough capacity, manpower and equipment to print the currency for local needs. So while the president is dismayed by the difficulties that have risen from the policy, he dismisses some banks as inefficient and stresses that even if a year is added, problems associated with selfishness and greed won't go away. But the governors were adamant, telling the president that they were in support of his decision on the renewal of currency, but pointing out that its execution had been botched.
Our request is for the deadline to be shifted, not only shifted, but the old currency should go along with the new currency until the old currency dies a natural death, which is possible.
The president, it seems, has decided to consult the CBN and the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company again to find out what is actually happening, and thereafter take that important decision within the next 7 days. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has begged Nigerians to endure the challenges associated with the circulation of the redesigned Naira notes. The unavailability of the redesigned 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes have caused untold hardship on Nigerians, leading to protests and demands for concurrent use of the old notes. Godwin Emefiele, in a briefing in Lagos, said the benefits of the redesigned notes outweighed the initial challenges, and while noting that the Apex Bank is working with other stakeholders to address the logistics challenges, he said there are enough new notes as well as 150 Naira and other denominations to meet the needs of Nigerians.
That if, for instance, you go to the bank, you go on a queuing arrangement and they pay 20,000 to some, right? And there are some of you who are not lucky. If you can just show understanding and come back tomorrow, so that if, for instance, the number stopped at say 500 today, then tomorrow we've told the bank start from 501. So which means tomorrow you will get. But what you find is a situation where those who are from 501 and above, they begin to fight or they want to beat up the bank manager. This is not targeted at anybody. We are doing our work in line with our laws. Listen, we are appealing that those who are involved in the protest should not allow themselves to be used. We know for a fact that one of those who carried the banner in Lagos yesterday or day before yesterday was sponsored.
Price of grains has crashed in Gombe market as scarcity of new Naira notes continues to take toll on grain sellers. Ibrahim Ismail, who visits Cham Grain Market, reports that maize that sold for 22,000 Naira a bag has crashed to 16,000 Naira and below.
In the last 2 weeks, prices of maize that used to be 22,000 Naira at this grain market located in Cham, Balanga local government area of Gombe State, has crashed to as low as 14,000 Naira. Soybean that was sold 30,000 now sells for 18,000 Naira. Speaking on the development, the chairman of Cham Grain Market attributed the price fall to scarcity of the redesigned notes. A bag of soybean that sold for 30,000 is now 20,000 Naira. Sorghum is now 15,000 Naira. The policy has affected our business seriously. Farmers and other grain sellers react to the drop in prices of the commodities. I used to bring between 2 to 15 bags of grains here. I sold at prices ranging between 20,000 naira up to 30,000 naira. But today I am looking for a buyer at 20,000 naira. I couldn't. I have taken the grains back home. My family has nothing to eat right now.
I usually used to come to this market to purchase grains, more precisely soybeans. And due to the recent situation we found ourselves in, of this current currency swapping, I found it very difficult to gather cash and take it to this market. As a result of this currency swap, usually I used to come with at least 10 million to this market, but today there's nowhere, not in the bank, not in the market, not in the house, there's nowhere to find such amount of cash. All our money we have deposited back to the bank, and the bank are not giving us back our money. So indirectly we were made as slaves. We are all slaves now of central bank and the financial institution.
The question is, could the falling price of grains rise again as scarcity of the redesigned notes continues to impact on businesses? Only time will tell. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Angry youths have taken to the streets of Ibadan to register total displeasure over what they termed as worsening economic situation across the country, compounded by non-availability of currency or new currency notes and fuel scarcity. Now, the youths took their frustration a step further by invading the Agodi Secretariat, destroying properties with the promise not to back down until the central authorities accede to their demands. The report.
It is a situation that has reached boiling point for these youths who have taken their frustration a step further. Not done, they took their anger to the seat of power, Agodi Secretariat, destroying everything in sight.
Come out to say enough of the suffering, and you have seen that this time around, it's unlike the normal protests that we used to have. These people are annoyed, they are bitter, and they are fighting, if possibly violently, and they are saying they are unstoppable. And what you have just seen so far is just a tip of the iceberg. The Nigerian people have been told that Monday, more actions will come, that if government does not reverse such wicked policies that they have doled out, that is working against the Nigerian people.
There is no fuel, there is no light, there is no anything. Which country are we? So if everybody has his own way to go to another place, he will leave this country. Because this is the only language our government know. If we talk to them gently, they will not hear. But as the protest now today, I think they will know that something is happening in the country.
The shocking incident forced businesses to shut down, while stranded bank customers were left helpless, with school children forced to go home to seek refuge.
It's our government. The way they do this Nigeria now, we don't understand. Maybe it be like, say, what do we call it? Like overthrow, or what do we call it? Interim government. So I never see this type since I was born. I never see this type of thing.
We need God to just come in and intervene at the moment, because things are not going well for everybody at the moment. Very, very tough. If you go deep inside everybody now, some are even dead at the moment.
When the dust settled, residents were left in awe. They want government to address the issue of fuel scarcity, non-availability of new currency notes, and the scary economic situation.
If you notice those that came, I don't think they have jobs. Those that came here are hoodlums. Because if they are okay, I don't think they will consist so low, continue to burn damaging properties. It's uncalled for. It's uncalled for. What they are agitating for, it is a policy that affects every Nigerian. So they should just take it easy and let's find solution. Government will find solution to it.
Nigerians should be patient. We will all get there. The monies are coming into circulation. And if we all take what we're supposed to take, what we are entitled to, it will go round.
At the time of filing this report, the state joint security outfit known as Operation Burst, some police officers, including Amotekun officers, were on ground to maintain law and order.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break, how 4 school pupils were rescued. Do stay with us.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Trust News Update, a recap of our top stories. You heard that INEC conducts mock accreditation ahead of 2023 general elections. We also told you that Governor Zulum goes hard on banks, threatens to revoke their land allocation over new naira note scarcity. Moving to more stories, Minister of the FCT, Mohammed Bello, has directed security agencies to arrest the officials of Federal Housing Authority and the developer of the collapsed suspended 2-story building in Abuja. The coordinator, Abuja Metropolitan Management Council, Umar Shaibu, disclosed this at a news briefing on Saturday. Shaibu said the minister directed the security agencies to arrest the FHA officers saddled with the responsibility of supervising the project. The coordinator also said the minister asked the security personnel to arrest the FHA officer in charge of granting the development permit and the engineer supervising the development for alleged manslaughter. The building under construction collapsed at about 11 a.m. on Thursday at 6th Avenue in Gwarimpa Estate, trapping 24 persons, while 3 were confirmed dead and 21 persons rescued alive. 4 of the remaining pupils who were abducted in Doma local government area of Nasarawa State have been rescued. The pupils of local educated authority primary school Alwaza, Nasarawa State, spent 2 weeks in captivity. Umar Mohammed sent in this report.
A total of 6 pupils of primary school Alwaza in Doma local government area were abducted. 2 were later released. The remaining 4 in captivity have now been rescued. However, a top military officer from 4 Special Forces Command, Doma Barracks, who preferred anonymity, said that the victims were dumped at Bogyo in Doka Electoral Ward in Doma local government area at the early hours of Friday morning unhurt, adding that no ransom was paid for their release.
We are here because we have secured the release of the remaining 4 pupils of Alwaza Primary School that were once adopted exactly 15 days ago. Basically in Doka region of Doma Local Government Council, and it involves the joint effort of both the local government, the traditional council, the communities and the security operatives. We have secured their release, and by the grace of God, we have them in our hands. As you can see, we're in the hospital now to verify that. We have taken them to the hospital, and right now the medical personnel are doing their job. No ransom was paid. I'm telling you categorically clear now that it's the joint effort of the community, the traditional council, the local government, and security operatives. And going by the recent incident, you do not just go and you find you do not go and meet the adopters directly. They will definitely give you a point where you have the adoptees, and we thank God Almighty we have them in our hands safely.
Police, in a statement signed by Public Relations Officer DSP Raman Nansel, explained that the rescue was a joint operation carried out by security operatives in the state.
Katsina state government has committed over 6 billion naira for establishment of Ruga ranches across 10 local government areas of the state. The money, which was donated by the federal government to reduce the movement of herders amidst insecurity in the area, is expected to benefit 10 local government areas with high level of insecurity. Abdullahi Yamadi completes the report.
The 10 benefiting local governments are those bedeviled by insecurity, as the federal government deemed it necessary to reduce the constant movement of herders from place to place due to incessant attacks on herders by bandits. In each of the 10 local governments, 100 hectares of land will be provided to be used as grazing reserves and construction of some other basic facilities. Among the facilities to be put in place include hospitals, veterinary clinic, slaughterhouse, boreholes, schools, dairy markets, and artificial dissemination facilities.
The purpose of this visit is to confirm and see whether the contractors are on ground. Today I'm happy that what I'm seeing, the contractors perform very well. He has achieved almost 40%, 45% of what is on ground. So we believe by the next 4 weeks, we are almost completing this project. All the projects are in 4 local governments. So I believe by end of March, 1st of April, we are opening all these projects, inshallah.
The establishment of the Ruga ranches is specifically a federal government initiative to address the incessant farmers-herders clashes and other security challenges facing the state. The state government has started sensitizing the benefiting communities on the importance of the projects and the need to take ownership to safeguard the facility against vandals. Residents, who are mostly Fulani herders, are extremely happy with the state and federal government's initiative of providing them with social amenities to enable them settle in one place. This will also assist in boosting their socio-economic well-being and give the Fulani herders, who for long felt marginalized, a sense of belonging. I never thought in my entire life something good like this will ever come to us. This project had already addressed our over 200 years problems, which hampered our socio-economic growth. We thank God for all of these. My appeal is to the beneficiaries to jealously make proper utilization of these facilities, which they have been yearning for some decades ago. Today, your dreams have been actualized. You have a better life. Stakeholders, including the Special Advisor to Governor Masari on Livestock and Grazing Reserves, members of the State Assembly, and Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, visited the project sites in Jibia and Batsari local governments. Abdullahi Yamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And away from Nigeria, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed on Friday met with leaders of the Tigray People's Liberation Front for the first time since the two-year conflict ended late last year with a peace deal, official media reported. The meeting was held 3 months after the government and the rebel group signed a permanent cessation of hostilities deal in November to end the conflict, restore law and order, and resume services and the delivery of humanitarian supplies. According to the state-run Ethiopian news agency, Ahmed met members of the Peace Agreement Implementation Coordination Committee, which includes senior TPLF leaders in the country's southwestern Dauro zone. During the talks, the two sides evaluated the implementation of the peace agreement and discussed issues requiring further attention, it was reported. The second most populous nation in Africa has seen a devastating conflict between government-allied troops and forces loyal to the TPLF since November 2020, which left thousands dead and millions in urgent need of humanitarian assistance. And finally, in sports, Kenyan Elkanah Kibet has won the 8th Access Bank Lagos City Marathon staged on Saturday, February 4th, 2023. Kibet, who is also an American, clinched the diadem with a time of 2 hours, 14 minutes and has grabbed a $50,000 prize tag for the marathon. He overtook record holder and former race leader David Bamasai at the 26-kilometer mark to clinch the 2023 Lagos City Marathon. Alemensa Guta of Ethiopia was the first woman to cross the finish line, followed in second place by Kibene Urisa and Kenya's Naomi Mayo in third place. The marathon took off from National Stadium Surulere, Lagos, and terminated at the Echo Atlantic City. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.